Hey everyone, uh, it's Tristan, and I was going to share another rapture dream that I had. This rapture dream I posted it on Facebook here again, but I have it written down, and I was just going to share it, um, tell you about it in this video. Anyway, here's another my second rapture dream, um, or another one that I had. Here we go. Okay, okay. In this rapture dream, this one happened October 22nd, 216. I put down here in my notes. I don't know whether to share or not to share this one, but here it is, as it is. Um, I had a rapture dream October 22nd, 216, around 5 this morning. I did have my TV on and the sound up in reality while sleeping. But anyway, in my dream, I heard the trumpet sound and was in my bed with my eyes closed to sleep. Okay, and I was left behind after hearing it. I started feeling light in body when hearing the trumpet sound, but sin ultimately held me down, and I knew why I had been left. I knew why I'd been left. I opened my eyes in my dream and knew what just happened. You know, um, I knew that I just heard the trumpet sound and everything, and I knew what just happened. The rapture just happened. Instantly, I knew, and then the terror came. I was immediately afraid. I was running through the house looking for my family, but they weren't there. They were nowhere to be found. I tried to call people, a girl from our church, on my phone to see if she'd been left behind. But I was shaking so bad I couldn't. This girl from my church, she's like me. I think she's on and off about it, and she's been on and off with God about different things, and or about God, the Godhead, and I think now she's actually an atheist, but I still believe it. But I still believe in God, and I do believe this will happen, but the rapture will happen someday. And but anyway, I was looking for her. I thought she'd be left behind because I knew in my head she's an atheist now, but um, she thought she was for God for a while, and then I don't know what happened. She just snapped or something. She just don't believe in it. But anyway, I was looking for her, and instantly then my cousin and sister were there in another room with me, maybe just in spirit, um, watching these demons tell me if I didn't obey, they would chop off my feet. You know, so what it was, I was running through the house looking for family, but they weren't there. After the rapture happened, I tried to call people, a girl from our church, on my phone to see if she had been left behind, but I was shaking so bad I couldn't even call her. I was scared and terrified. And then in an instantly, then I've got here my notes. My cousin and sister were in this room with me, maybe just in spirit, watching these demons tell me if I didn't obey, they would chop off my feet. So after the rapture happened, these demons appeared, and they tell me if I didn't obey them, and I guess kind of like deny God, the Godhead, I'd get my feet chopped off. And um, I got here, they look like Godar, they look like space aliens, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original, like Godar or something. But anyway, they were planning to do so to those, who mentioned or thought about Christ. They were planning on chopping your feet off. It was martial law, even in your own house. I've got here, as soon as the saints had left. You couldn't no longer openly profess to know who Christ was and had to be secretive on talking to anyone over the phone um, after the rapture happened. That's what I got here in my notes. So I was in the room with demons and a lady in a suit. And a lady in a suit. So this lady appeared as well. She's in a suit. and I jumped out of the window in our house, and I started running, and I didn't get too far because these demons could fly. You know, Godar with the wings there, he had the form of Godar, and he looked like Godar, and he could fly. You know, well one could, and I knew I would probably die, and I needed to quit school and just try to survive as someone left behind. So I started running from them, and it wouldn't do any good. Some of them had wings, so they could catch me. But I think this happened in this dream took place, I believe, in our White House we had. My aunt Julie in that house. It used to be our house, but then it was hers, and then passed on through the years to other people. But Melinda's house. Now, you know, I knew I'd probably die and I needed to quit school and just try to survive as someone left behind. So, what it was, these demons appeared, Godar and this lady in a suit, and I jumped out the window and I tried to run, but um, uh, the demons could fly, and they, you know, one of them at least, and uh, running just it didn't do any good. I found it quite impossible, and I figured I would take the mark. You know, uh, I knew I'd probably die, and I needed to quit school and just try to survive as someone left behind. And I found it quite impossible, and I figured I would just end up taking the mark, you know, to survive. Food after the event happened, I knew was going to be rationed, and I knew they were coming for those instantly who were left behind Christians. I knew they were coming for those instantly who were left behind Christians. Food was going to be rationed. It was like a worldwide famine after the rapture happens. I got here in my notes. Food and survival was on my mind after it happened. You know, education was like, you know, you couldn't really, you're just trying to survive for 7 years. You know, I was running from these demons, and I was like, I'm going to have to drop out of school and just survive somehow for 7 years. My parents, sister, and dogs were all gone, you know. And I got here. I shared this dream as it is. As I remember things, I'll be adding more. I put here. I just went through the house looking to see if I'm left here. In reality, that's how vivid this dream was. I don't really know. I went outside. I got here to see if my dogs are taken, but it's so dark and cold. I didn't even want to wake them up. As well as my parents and sister were asleep. If it did happen, some people wouldn't know till the next day, probably. You know, I turned on the news just now, and it doesn't say millions are missing. But anyway, my dream was intense. This one gave me a sweat. I put here. I will add more as I remember. I don't know if this dream is authentic or not, but I had the TV on. So, but in some videos I watched on YouTube, like maybe the Power Rangers were used in my dream. Godar, you know, take it as it is and with a grain of salt. But regardless, here it is. I was hesitant to post this one, but I believe there's truth to it, you know. Also, before the rapture dream, I had another dream. In this dream, I had a bowl of ice cream. I got here a paranormal survivor episode with a girl getting ice cream out of the freezer in the basement with a spoon. I had a bowl of ice cream with a spoon. I believe I ate vanilla ice cream with this fruit in it that looked like frozen peaches. I had to dig around the bowl and found the peaches, I believe, or pears in it. I believe it's peaches, but anyway. It's like I could taste it in the dream, but I was picking pears for a friend the day before. But it reminded me of John the Revelator and how he had to eat that boot that tasted sweet and bitter to his stomach. And then he saw his visions of the end times. So anyway, I thought it could mean something like that, or maybe not. I knew I would think more of this. I knew I would think of more to this dream. Think of more to this dream. But But that is my dream, and for what it's worth, you know, it's October 22nd, 216. I remember it vividly. I do. It sounds like it's been rehearsed because I've written it down and I was reading it to you, and I didn't proofread it before I even made this video, but I thought I would share it, and I do remember it vividly. Like Godar, the rapture happened. I was left behind, and these demons showed up right after the rapture. Pretty much to sum this up for you, they showed up the minute after, the second after it happened. I knew I'd been left behind, and they showed up in the room with me. This lady in a suit showed up. Godar first, I reckon, and this lady in a suit showed up, and they were both trying to get me to deny Christ and pretty much to take the mark and um, to follow the one world order. And I tried to escape from them, out the window, and they caught up to me, and the demon could fly, he could get around, and that's pretty much it. And I thought in my head I was gonna have to drop out of school and take this mark, and just to survive for 7 years. And it was so intense. The dream was, I was outside looking for my dog, my two dogs. I knew if they were here, I knew that I hadn't been left behind. And my mom and dad, even though I couldn't check on them, because they're out, they were asleep at the time, and my sister was out cold. But I could check on my dogs, but I couldn't even see my dogs. It was so dark that night. The moon wasn't really out, and it was a cold night. It was October 216, so I, 4 days from now, actually, I had that dream last year. So, but I thought I would share that. That is my other reading for the, I'll share these in my time. I've had many, so I thought I would share. I'll share this one. This is my next one, and I hope you got something out of it. And thank you for watching.